Hi friends, this is Sadik. Today I am demonstrating about server-side encryption using AWS KMS and Mule-4 AWS S3 Connector. Okay, Mule-4 AWS S3 Connector is that it's provide the capability that we can send indicate or inform application or AWS bucket or persistence storage that if that data which we are sending to encrypt required to be encrypted before storing or not. Okay, although AWS provide the APIs which helps to either optional approach that if we are sending KMS key that they will encrypt the data and associate bucket with or a persistence or to store encrypted data, or it will save the plain data. Saving the plain data is that if that bucket or the persistent storage is not associated with the KMS key. Okay, we'll explain you more about in next PPT and demo. Let's go to the approach. Like we have in this demo we have introduction, what scenario we are going to perform, and what is the KMS, and next is that the AWS configuration plate configuration in the AWS, and then perform the configuration in Mule-4 connector, and then demo. Okay, so the agenda is that demonstrate MuleSoft integration with S3 bucket with enable KMS server-side encryption. Okay, so here is that scenario of publish data to S3 bucket while bucket is enabled with server-side encryption. Okay, using the KMS, AWS KMS. Okay, and the publish data to the S3 bucket as the bucket is disabled with the server-side encryption. The both scenario I'm going to take care in this demo and explain how it works with the connector is available in Mule-4. Okay, what is the KMS? KMS is the self-managed components, or if I say that tool in the AWS that generate the key based on the configuration and permission on that, and they manage the key by itself. Okay, that if required to encrypt decrypt data, as you know that HSM, HSM and other components hardware encryption is there. So these are available in the AWS. With the help of that we can encrypt our data, and we can store in our persistent storage while to protect from misuse from any other hackers or any other person from the organization or the internet. Okay, you know that the storing data encrypted in the platform or persistent storage is that we are trying to protect our data, which should not be misused by other person. Okay, so here is that we are storing the data in AWS S3 bucket, and data is being encrypted with the AWS KMS key. Okay, we know that if we have like working with the financial institutions and any information management platform, so the key of the data that is required to be protected, then we are storing the data in the persistent storage or any location. That data is being encrypted with the server side key or any key that help to encrypt and decrypt data, and then the data cannot be visual directly for the any user while keeping on the server. Okay, so you can see that AWS key management service is a regulated service that make it easy to produce and manage the encrypted key utilized to encrypt data. Okay, that the key which we are creating in AWS KMS, that key they are managed by the AWS KMS itself. That's not required to manage any other external tool for that. And that tool that KMS provide the two capability, that is symmetric and asymmetric encryption. That symmetric encryption is required only one key to encrypt and decrypt, and asymmetric required for two key, public and private key, to encrypt and decrypt data to keep the in persistent storage, or the visualize, or the access the data in the plain format. Okay, here you can see how it works. Like whenever we are sending the plain data to the any persistent storage, it goes with the key, right? We are trying to send through the key itself. Okay, and then when it reaches to the server, server perform, or API perform, or tool perform the encryption algorithm and encrypt the data, and then we can store data in the encrypted storage. Okay, so it's like the key information which we are trying to send with the plain data, and that action need to perform by the encrypted algorithm, which by tool, like here is the KMS is performing that encryption, and then once encrypted, it's send data to the store in the required destination persistent storage. Here is like we are taking care AWS S3 bucket. Okay, you can see that I stated here that start with the plain text and key associated with it. If the key is required to send with the plain data to encrypt data, in two cases, like either we are sending to the server to inform about the key, or the server itself have the key, and as soon as the data is come to the server encrypt the data and respond back to the encrypted key, and we can store in the encrypted storage. Okay, like APIs or events management tool, like some HSM platforms are providing that we can encrypt the data with the help of their APIs or events. So once, and then we are receiving encrypted data to log in, keep in the logs or in the persistent storage for our further audit purpose or the analysis purpose. Okay, so moving to the next, then it's how it works in the AWS cases. Okay, it's like that if data is applied on a local platform or in EC2 instances, then what is happening that we are trying to send the data with the help of the APIs or the MuleSoft connector. Here in our case, we are sending we are storing the application data on the AWS S3 bucket, and we are using the KMS key to encrypt data and store over here itself. In other cases, the KMS providing the APIs, the AWS KMS providing the APIs, we can send the data to the KMS and encrypt data, and once it's encrypted, we can store in our application wherever it's required. Okay, both the cases we can take care, like on-premises platform or the cloud deployed instances, that taking care of the KMS key and the help of that KMS key encrypting data and keeping over in the logging in the logs, or responding to the customer, storing in the platform, storing in the provided instances on the cloud itself. Okay, so here is that as a key is a very important point here, that how it manages that it the AWS provided the capability to rotate the for the defined time every year, every 3 years, like based on that you can enable that. And then it has some characteristics of the encryption limitations, like it can perform maximum 4 KB size of the encryption. Okay, the key the KMS key, CMK key, the customer management key. Okay, otherwise if you want to encrypt more data, more than like 5G 10G something like that, you can go and you can encrypt data, and you can create the data key, and with the help of data key you can create as much as required the capability or the process you can, or the data you can encrypt and keep in the bucket or in the persistent storage, because the capability of the encryption is only limiting with the key management components in the AWS, and CMK is only eligible to, or have limitations to perform 4 KB size of encryption. For more than that, it's required data key instead of the KMS key. Okay. The KMS itself, KMS key, the data key itself manages by the KMS itself. So you can create through the either CLI, or you can create using the console. So I'm not demonstrating those part here because I'm just demonstrating how it works in that both the processes for data key and the KMS key, it works in same way. But definitely if you require a higher amount of size of data need to be encrypted, you have to create the data key instead of the CMS key. Okay, here you can see that the limitations and resource that it's grant per CMK 200 500 limitations that key that can manage here. So all these limitations of the KMS, how much key is there, how much size of their alias, number of alias there. So you can manage this based on the subscription or the limitations of the platform. You can manage all this in your configuration. Okay, Mule-3 connector is that how it works. Mule-3 connector is communicate as per the document provided by the MuleSoft. It works with the communicate with the AWS S3 APIs, and they perform based on the required parameters or input. They are accept as an input parameter and sent to the AWS S3 APIs, and then perform the operation based on the task we want to perform. Okay, you can see that this is the S3 connector you can download from the exchange, and you can perform the list of the operations as highlighted as demonstrating you can see of here that these operations you can perform on the AWS S3. Okay, let's see with the demo that how it works. Let me go to the let me move it out of here, then go here. Let me delete this bucket. Okay, okay, let me input it. Okay, I think it's not deleted. Let me delete here. It's done. This part, I think it's having something here like with what is that? Okay, it's required to be empty. Let's delete it here. Permanent delete. Okay, it's done. Let me delete it. Okay, so we do not have any bucket right now. Okay, let's start with the KMS. Okay, right now you can see that KMS key, KMS management key, the customer management key. I have created one key over here. Here, what happens? The creating key is the simple steps you can perform here. That it's create the labels, alias, and who can access this one. So it's simple configuration. Here is the main thing is that symmetric and asymmetric, like that. If you want to perform the operation, the encryption of server side encryption, that you can have symmetric and symmetric. You can see that it's required two key encryption and decryption, and here is required only single key. Okay, so I have already created one key. You can see that you can go over here the key, and I have associated who is the administrator and who can use this key. So I have associated both my user. This is the IAM user who can access the key and who can perform the operation with the help of the key. Okay, you can see I'm using the symmetric here. Definitely symmetry is we are recommended most of the time because to avoid the complexity of the data protection. So we take care this thing, and then encryption we are taking care using the same key. Okay, and you can see that the it's over here rotation policy. I have not enabled that. You can enable this one. You can configure it, okay, based on your requirement. And this alias I have created with the name is the alias, and this is created by the AWS itself. Okay, and another part is that you can see that let me check one thing. This is I have created in Ohio. This is the AWS US ES2 region. Okay, that the main benefit is that it never move from one region to other region, and it keep the same region itself. So so it's I'm creating the bucket in the same region. So let me create two bucket. Okay, the scenario which I am trying to explain over here is that let me go to the scenario. Publish data to S3 bucket, like while the bucket is enabled with the server side encryption. Okay, the persistent storage I'm taking care, like storing storage capability I'm using here is the S3 bucket, and the publish data to S3 bucket as the bucket is disabled with the server side encryption. Okay, that's the, this is not enabled, like with the, is not associated with the KMS capability. Okay, like it's not encrypting data while keeping data in the bucket itself. Okay, so two scenario I'm going to demonstrate here. So let me create two bucket, right? The bucket is like with KMS. Okay, just to like you can see that US ES2 I'm taking care, like I'm just removing this one just for demonstration purpose only, but you should not remove this one. Okay, I'm keeping the version and tag. I am using the server side encryption. I'm going to the KMS. I'm using the KMS key. Okay, I am going to use the KMS, like you can see this Hyderabad, this HYD Mule meetup. Okay, so let me create this one. Fine. Okay, so one bucket I have created which is already enabled with the server side encryption. You can see that this is server side encryption is enabled, right? So it will perform the, it will keep the data encrypted in the bucket itself whenever it's required. Definitely it's not required to send a key to access the data. Okay, but data it will be there as a encrypted format. Okay, so this is the one, and second is go to the KMS without KMS. Okay, the same region, blockage, versioning enabled. Let's keep the version of the platform, and I'm disabling, I'm not keeping, I'm just keep it at as the server side encryption at disabled mode. Okay, so let me send it. Okay, what is that without KMS? Okay, bucket same already exist. Okay, Sadiq, let it Sadiq. Okay, fine. Okay, two bucket already created. Okay, now let's go to the code. Here I have one sample code to demonstrate here. Let me go to the code. Okay, right now I am performing the create bucket, list bucket, delete object. Okay, list object, create object. Okay, what is I'm doing right now. Okay, let me show you here that what data I'm sending. Okay, you can see here that payload bucket name, payload name, payload content. Okay, the bucket name where I want to keep my file, then the key of the file, then from which key it can be accessed, the data of the file, the data inside the file or the file data itself, and the key, the KMS key, which I am trying to notify to the server that use this key for encryption. Okay, here first thing is that I will send key and without key both. Okay, so let's see that. Let me open my server. Okay, this is the application which I am sending the request to over here. You can see this is the HTML form. You can see the delete bucket. Okay, you can list of the bucket, you can create. Okay, you can create object. Okay, you can see the list object. I am sending my request data KMS key bucket of file content to the server. Okay, and then this and this server is sending request to the this APIs, this resources, and then it's performing the operation based on the request. Okay, like you have create object, you have list object, we have list bucket, everything we have, so we are performing based on that. Okay, So here we can see that I am going to use the object, right? Bucket I have already created, so I'm not performing bucket operation. Okay, let's go and create the work with the bucket object only. Okay, so let me check. I have to delete everything what I have in the logs. Okay, let me go here, object. Okay, I am going to create the object. You can see that this is the screenshot I'm going to use it here. This is the Sadiq. I'm going to use Sadiq one. Okay, the key name. And what is the key, the bucket name? Right now this bucket is with key, like it is already associated with the KMS, right? So I am going to use this first. Okay, okay, this is the bucket name. Sorry, this is the with KMS. Okay, right, then what is the key? You can see the key over here, the key which I have to send to the in request. Okay, this is the key which I am going to send in the request itself. Okay, so so the key is I'm going to send here. Let me check. Okay, let me go here. I'm going to send a request the bucket which is associated with the KMS. Okay, this is the key, and let's send to the request. Let's wait here and revert back. Let me check. It should not be stuck somewhere. Yeah, it's not stuck. Yeah, still processing. Yeah, it's done. Right, let me go and check the KMS. Right, you can see, refresh it. You can see the data is here. Then let's check the property of the data. Okay, you can see that the data is being already encrypted because server was already enabled, so that you can see the data is encrypted and is the encrypted form in the data itself. Although CloudTrail logs, you can identify that data being encrypted or decrypted. Although I do not have enabled on my login here, but I can you can go to the CloudTrail log and you can find out that what event is being executed on the AWS S3 to communicate, to encrypt and decrypt data. Okay, so here I can show you that it as this bucket already enabled the server side encryption, so you can see the data is encrypted. Now let's do one thing. Now I am I send data and I notified to server bucket that this is the key. Now let's do not send the key, like I'm removing the key. Okay, the bucket is the same. Okay, the bucket is same, so I'm not taking care and I'm not sending a key from here. So let's try to send the data key again, data again. Okay, I send data. I have sent one request without key and the same bucket. So bucket is already associated and configured in S3 associated with the KMS. Okay, server side encryption. Okay, let me go here. Okay, these are the two. You can see the server is encrypted, like it's already associated, so it's not mandatory you to send the KMS data KMS key along with the request to associate or decrypt data into the KMS in the AS3 bucket. Fine. So there is two scenario. One is that this bucket is already associated with the KMS encryption as I created earlier, so it will not require you have to notify the KMS key. Okay, the second part is that let's assume that the next bucket, this bucket is not associated with the AWS KMS encryption. You can see that this is the disabled, right? The same thing if you go in the AWS. Let me go over here. If it's same, you go over here, you can see this encryption is enabled, right? Default encryption enabled, right? Here you can see default encryption disabled, right? It's not enabled with the KMS capability to encrypt data and server side encryption. Okay, let's send data now to this server, this bucket. Okay, Let's go over here again. Let's keep this one. Okay, I'm not sending key right now. Let's see what happened. Okay, the bucket name is the without KMS Sadiq. Okay, I send a request. Okay, data is created in the bucket. I have not notified the KMS key. Okay, I have not notified the bucket to encrypt data or something like that. Okay, so let's see what happened with this key, this bucket. Okay, let's go and refresh it. Okay, this is Sadiq 3. Let's see the data is encrypted or not. Yeah, you can see this is the still disabled, right? Because we have not notified that. Okay, S3 bucket, please keep the data encrypted and use the key KMS key to encrypt the data and store here. Okay, so it not have performed that operation. But now let's do one thing. Let's see. Send data again with the help of with the keeping the key over here. Okay, you know that this key, this bucket is not enabled, right? This bucket is not enabled with the server side encryption, but still I'm sending request with the key. Okay, with the key KMS key itself. What is happening here in the MuleSoft? Let me go and MuleSoft that if the key is like I am not sending key, like one key and then I am sending key, right? Now I am trying to send the key. Okay, the and bucket name, and let's see what happened. Okay, you have option, either you send, notify or not, or not required to notify. Okay, there are two options. Bucket can manage the encryption on server side. So I am sending the bucket which is not associated with the KMS encryption, server side encryption, but still I'm trying to send the KMS key to make a request, check that the data is encrypted or not. Okay, let's see that. Let's wait for a moment. Yeah, it's done, right? Let's go and check. This time I have sent a request to the bucket without KMS and with the key. Okay, let's go to the without KMS. Let it come. Okay, sorry, I sent the same data. Okay, I sent the S3 bucket. I have updated my data in the bucket. Okay, so let's send data to, let's check the data. Okay, you can see the data is now encrypted. So it's option is available is like that. If you are trying to encrypt data, issue data, that what it's happening in the server. Okay, the server is encrypt and decrypt the data based on the KMS key we are allowing. Okay, so MuleSoft, and let's see the rest of the operation is like that. In the operation is like list of data available in that. List of data is available in that, so we can go and check the data available. Okay, let's see that the list of the operation, bucket name without Sadiq. Okay, you can see the amount of object S3, and yeah, only S3 is available. And with KMS, let me check with the KMS. With the KMS, you can see two data should be there. You can see that Sadiq 2 and Sadiq 1. Okay, let's delete it. Okay, the operation is like bucket, file name is one, bucket name is with KMS. Okay, it deleted 2, deleted without Sadiq is 3 is deleted. Okay, So all the operations I'm taking care using the interface designed here, like list of the data, list of the object, or delete the object. Okay, it's very easy to send data to delete or the list of the data object from the S3 with the help of the Mule-4 AWS S3 connector. Okay, that's it. This was the demo. Hope you like that. Thank you.